Well, hello everybody. That's right. I'm trying to let me see if I can think we are live right now. So shooting the shiz with DK and the Schwag. We are live. With Goody freaking Joe will be on here in a second. I just don't know how to bring him into the room. So hello everybody. I'm wearing my new hat. But John will be on in a second. He dozed off. He's sleeping. He works a pretty hectic job. So Joe Gonzalez will be on in a second. And of course, your brother was sleeping, Doc Dam. So we got to wait for a couple minutes for him to get on here. And then I know Joe's in the room. I just don't know how to bring Joe in, or I would. So it is pouring rain out here in California. And we got a lot to talk about. We got a real special guest coming on tonight, a guy that's making quite a name for himself and in the music business and videos and winning awards for music videos, which is crazy, and doing documentaries. So I'm pretty excited to bring him on. I'll give you a little recap of, was it last week? It was last weekend. I was in New Jersey. We were there for the horror show pop-up. I'm saying that wrong. Horror show market. Anyways, I'm screwing that up. But we were there I was in New Jersey last week. Got to hang out with Michael Toth for a minute. And his mom, which is pretty cool. They gave me some cool Christmas gifts, so we appreciate it. I know Joe Gonzalez is here, but I can't bring him up on the screen. So otherwise I would be BSing with Joe right now on camera. So just give it a second. We'll. Oh, really? Well, yeah. New Jersey was fun. Doc Dam is that's John's sister, is telling me that they were born in New Jersey. I had no idea. Yeah, it was pretty fun. We had a good show one day, pop up. Felissa Rose. Gosh, a whole bunch of people were there. It was pretty crazy. Good setup. I'm going to be going back in August for their big show, the New Jersey Horror Film Festival deal. Pretty excited about that. And then, of course, I just got announced for Creep IE Inland Empire. So that's going to be a great show. And gosh, I wish I knew. See, if I click on guests, I can see. Let me see if I add to the stage. Let me see if that does it.
Hey!
Bam!
There. I'm here. Yes.
What's up? Look, I'm figuring it out, buddy.
About time, dude.
I know. Sorry about that.
Didn't make you any smarter, but it helped a little bit.
Yeah. Let me see the shirt you're wearing there.
So LA Slumlords.
Now we'll get that. We'll get into that in a second.
Yeah.
Let me see the mohawk.
Oh, it's a little messed up right now, but
that's
still,
all right.
Are you hiding yours? Did you shave yours off or what?
Yeah, I had to shave it off for an audition I had for a big TV series that films in Atlanta. It would be on Peacock, so we don't often get those kind of auditions. So when we do, we got to look presentable. And but folks, this is my buddy.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Joe Castro's on. John Patage, what's up, everybody? Warren, thanks for getting on, guys.
Oh, the Dolls of Horror. That means Summer Flynn is on.
Oh yeah.
Just did a good podcast with her. Looked at 90 minutes.
Yeah.
And I know you know because we mentioned you.
Thank you guys for that. Thank you guys. Those are great, kind words. It means a lot.
All right, we can get into this. We'll start. Let's talk. So, Joe, where were you? Were you born in the LA area? Were you born out there in the?
Yeah, I was born in Torrance, California, but then moved straight back to the ghettos. I was in Inglewood and Compton, and pretty much Compton my whole life, pretty much in Compton. I did move out of Compton when I moved out of my parents' house, went to Long Beach, which is still in the hood technically, but then eventually I moved my way back to Compton, so I'm still here, born and raised in the way.
So, as a young kid, we're talking. Let's talk music, because I believe music was the first thing. I mean,
Yeah.
was it? I know you like horror movies, obviously, because you've been in a few.
Mhm.
When you were growing up, was it the music first, or was it did you like the movie scene?
Growing up as a kid, I will say it was the movies first. I got into movies first, but of course, you always had soundtracks. You got music in the movie, so it was always like kind of a two-part thing. But for sure, the movies pulled me in and dragged me into all that scenery. And then afterwards, yeah, I got into music videos, and then so I
So
always got into movies first.
let's talk about some of those movies when you were growing up out there in the hood, as you like to call it. What were you watching, and was if it was on a horror genre, what kind of horror movies? I mean, because you're a lot younger than I am, so
Yeah.
yeah. So what were you getting into at the time?
I wanted to say the first thing that really got me into horror was actually Tales from the Crypt. You know, it was always on TV. You didn't have to really go rent anything or anything like that.
HBO, buddy.
Yeah, well, I was in the hood, but we had a little money. You know,
Yeah. What a great series. First of all, Tales.
Yeah.
Man, look at Tales from the Crypt, and as I've progressed over the last couple of years, doing a lot of more conventions, I always get to go hang out with John Kassir.
Yeah, I just met him this year too. It was really, really awesome. Like just hearing that voice in front of your face is like epic, dude. Like
it's so cool. He is such a nice guy, and he's diabetic, right? So when I told him the first time, we were driving back from Canada, Frightmare in the Falls, and John, I was telling him I'm diabetic, and I have I don't have controlled diabetes, which is great. And he was talking to me about it and giving me some good advice. So John is an excellent guy. Some people complain about John because he wears a mask when he's doing signings. So you know what? The guy's trying to stay healthy, folks. He wants to live, to progress, and keep doing stuff. So one of the great guys. Don't give him grief if he has his COVID mask on. Some of us have had COVID, and it's a pain in the butt. And if John wants to wear a mask, he gets to wear a mask.
Yeah, it's no joke, man. I wore a mask for a long period of time to myself. When my wife would vend, before I even did anything, I was always wearing a mask around, just in public, and people, want to take pictures for whatever reason. I'll pull it down for a picture if I'm like away from him in the background, but side to side, kind of kept the mask on. But shortly after, we started slowly but surely removing the masks and all that. But I respect anyone that's still wearing a mask. I sometimes still wear a mask depending where I'm at. But like I said, yeah, I respect him for wearing a mask. Look, thank God when I met him, he didn't have the mask on. But like I said, I respect him when he does, or any
artist. 100%. One of the great guys in the business. So you're growing up, you're doing the Tales from the Crypt. You're nice enough to have HBO. Your mom was cool enough to say, "We got HBO in the house." By the way, I love your mom. We'll talk about her in a second. Just a very brave woman when we were filming your music video, but. Yeah, obviously, it kind of. When did you start playing the music? Because besides working on a film with you, I know you're a great musician, very creative.
Thank you.
When did you start getting into the music?
Playing music, I got into it when I was in middle school, actually, in middle school. So growing up, I never touched instruments. My dad was in a band, like Spanish rock band, and played more locally and things like that. So I was always around his instruments. So I would just, just mess around with him. So I've had a little feel for it, but I wouldn't call myself a musician. I just, went to his rehearsals and played with the maracas or played a piano terribly, might I add. But I had fun with it. So I knew it was a fun thing to do. And then he passed away when I was about 6 years old or so. And then I kind of like musician like gear kind of disappeared. I knew I had his acoustic guitar in my house, but come middle school, I had a buddy who got me into like the metal scene. I got into, introduced me to Metallica. That's when I became a full-on rocker. And he wanted to start a band or just jam out. And then I told him I have a guitar in my house, which was my dad's guitar. So I ended up bringing that to school, and we started jamming out together. And we, went to little church sessions that say, if you go to this church class, you can get free guitar lessons. And I would start going there to learn how to play guitar. But I kind of failed to go to the church classes, so they just started noticing, and then I learned enough to get by, and then I started learning by ears, buying guitar magazines, learning the tabs, and then it just all went from there. I literally learned every Metallica song, growing up in middle school, and then from there it was just all history from there.
Yeah, no, listen, pretty cool, because that's, a lot of guys are self-taught, but you have you kind of flip back and forth between whether it's punk rock or whether it's metal. But I did see you. I have seen pictures of you with the long hair,
Yeah,
and back in the metal days, and you were doing the Metallica, probably Megadeth, some of this, maybe
yeah.
some Merciful Fate and all that. But when did the first band start, and what was your first gig?
My first band, I was in high school. I think we called it Mama Rat. I really didn't care about band names. I just wanted to perform and deliver music. It was, we played the backyard shows, we weren't the most popularist band because I wasn't the one that wanted to hang out with the cool kids. I didn't want to just blend in, follow the crowd. So I would actually recruit people that weren't as popular and tried making them popular, but it didn't 100% work all the way. But I still covered some songs. I covered some Metallica. I covered the Ramones. Like you said, I play whatever I want. I don't cover to please. If I like punk, I'm gonna play punk. If I like metal, I'm gonna play metal. Like, you get what I want to play, because I'm having fun doing it. I do take some requests if it falls in the genre or like something that I did like, but I'm not gonna be taking requests of things I don't want to hear really or perform. But yeah, that was just a high school thing. But then my first actual official band where I wrote original material was called Dirty Suicide. I created that with my drummer. We both had a little jam session one day, just hanging out, on a summer. It was like a summer weekend. We were out of high school, but we just wanted to jam out. We just started, making some riffs, and it just got catchy. We ended up just sticking with it, and we became Dirty Suicide. And I put out a full-length album out with that. I have one music video while under that, I actually used the same director, Timothy Bennett, actually helped me out make that music video called Partay, which is on YouTube under Dirty Suicide. But Dirty Suicide is how I kind of blew up as a rock star, as a musician. That's where I had my long hair, doing the windmills, head bopping, head banging, all that. It is more metal on that scene, but I do have a rock and roll song because I did like Motorhead as well. And he's metal, but it has rock and roll, so wanted to get that mix in there as well.
Yeah, that's great. Now, and then so you're doing the band thing. You kind of, I wouldn't say your music now is. I mean, it is a cross between metal and punk, but I know we met. We'll get back into the music thing. I know we met because we were out there filming with the lovely Nicole Vegas, our producer, and Shawn C Phillips. I got cast to play this big kind of mutant hillbilly Papa Bear kind of deal up out for Shawn C Phillips, a director.
Yep.
And I was pretty excited. And you and I had become friends on Facebook.
Yeah.
A little before this, and so it was pretty nice to be able to go out there to Vegas and hang out with some people that I had met, or at least I was friends with you. So what got you? Now you've done a couple movies before this. So what got you into wanting to do some of the acting?
Well, into acting, I was a big concert goer in my 20s, and then I went to go see Twisted Sister one time, and then they headlined the show, obviously. But then a band called Van Stone opened up for them. I've never heard of Van Stone in my life, but I was like, we're gonna check it out anyways. I checked it out. The lead singer was hilarious. They put on a great show. The music was good, like good rock, good energy. They actually put on a show. It wasn't just performing. They would be on skateboards, breaking boards on stage, jump kicks. So I decided to follow them, and when they would headline shows in Hollywood. And then I got to meet the band, after the shows. I got to, buy them a drink or just hang out, get pictures, get autographs. And then eventually one day I was watching a movie called Little Man with Marlon Brothers.
Yeah.
And then I kind of just looked away, but I heard this voice, and I'm like, that sounds like Randy Van Stone, the singer of Van Stone. So I went through the credits. I looked at the character, and it wasn't Randy Van Stone, but it was Dave Sheridan. I was like, oh, that's not Randy Van Stone. I Googled Dave Sheridan, and sure enough, he is Van Stone. So I'm like, he's a rock star and a movie star. I'm like, that is really great. I didn't think people can do that, like two different talents. So
when you told me that, I was like, what's this Van Stone thing? And you're telling me Dave Sheridan, and I'm like, Well, I know Dave because I'm doing things with him. I had no idea that he was, doing the musician thing. How are you, John?
I'm doing all right. I was looking at places today. I was in Branson, Missouri last night, and I was watching TV. The internet was out, and I dozed off, so I apologize. Oh, look, we got what is that, a puppy?
It's a cat.
A cat, all right.
He wants to be on the show.
Oh, well, welcome to the show. At least it covered for me. I appreciate the cat for that. And Joe, welcome to the show. I'm going to work on trying to get us on to Instagram as well. It's a little different trying to set up the room. But welcome to the show. We are going to show that riff you played, or you sent to Brett, that I listened to. I'm really excited to talk about that. I don't know if you guys have shown it yet.
We haven't gotten into that yet.
Yeah, I'm going to hook this up to IG, and we'll go from there.
All right. Well, now you also, Joe, you play. I mean, you're not just an actor. You're also doing some producing. And talk about a couple of the movies you did before we got to meet on Desert Fiends.
Before Desert Fiends, the first movie gig I did was The Demons Within. I ended up having to go to Ohio for that one and go film over there, which has been released now. It's on Tubi and I believe Amazon Prime. It's out there somewhere. But yeah, that was my first movie gig. I just played a mental patient, quick scene, but the project was originally supposed to be shot in Los Angeles, which is why I got the gig. I was going to work with Felissa Rose, but then things happened where they took the project to Ohio, and then they asked me if I still wanted to do it. I'm like, yeah, I kind of told the world I was going to be in a movie, so I didn't want to be all talk and back out of it. So I flew to Ohio. The director over there was nice enough to get my music, like a riff of my music in the movie. She got my poster, my band poster in the movie. They kind of did a lot of, advertisements for me. Just one of the main characters, he's wearing a Dirty Freaking Joe t-shirt in the movie as well. So, I mean, I appreciated that, like even though all the headache I had to go through, like they still, kind of hooked me up. So that was pretty cool. The Demons Within. Then I ended up doing Area 5150, Sean Heights movie, Area 5150. That's where the Sci-Fi Sam song actually comes from, Sean asked me to play myself as a rocker that like watching the Sci-Fi Sam podcast. And then on my way on the set, I was just kind of thinking Wayne's World, like Wayne's World, party time. So when I was on the set, I just came off with the sci-fi, aliens, extraterrestrial. So it was pretty cool that, once I sang it on set, they all loved it. Everybody on set loved it. They were humming it. They were telling me how much they really liked it. And then they asked me after the set was done, like if I could write a whole song. I'm like, yeah, I could. And yeah, sure enough, I did record the whole song and I released it to them and they all loved it, So because it had a good turnout, I'm like, I want to make a music video out of it. So then that's where my Sci-Fi Sam music video came out, which I filmed that after Desert Fiends. So after Area 5150, Fiends next.
Yeah, now we were... Let's talk about Desert Fiends for a little bit. We were up there filming in Vegas, and man, there were some cold nights. And Eric Yoder and his girl were doing the makeup and everything, and we had some amazing. I remember when they first sent me the concept art for it. I was like, I'm like, Sean, I don't know if I want to do this, but I was like,
it caught me off guard,
But great, we're getting the makeup put on. It's 40 degrees out there in Vegas, but it turned out real well. The poster art, the trailer turned out real good. I think, we had some big names in the movie. Scout Taylor Compton. We had, just a slew of tremendous people that came to be in that movie. Tom Arnold, Robert Lasardo. Of course, yeah. Oh, yeah. You can't forget Bai Ling, for God's sake. Yeah.
I mean, there was a lot of great artists over there. There's a lot of great talent there. I mean, even the ones that aren't known and upcoming artists. I got to meet a lot of people, and then I'm actually continuing to jump in movies now. After that, I made a lot of acquaintances there, and I like to consider them friends as well. And they've reached out to me. They're making their own movies as well. I'm like, I'm so glad to see that there's people still jumping on the same project, supporting each other's. Like Kevin Duffy, he was one of the actors in the movie. He had a small role, I believe, but I didn't know he was a director as well. That's why I tell everybody, treat everybody with respect on set, from the boom guy
100%.
to the guy
100%. So it's like that, Joe, when you go in for an audition, right? And there's a lady answering the phones in the front. That lady next next year could be the casting director.
Right.
Could be the head of a studio. It happens all the time. So you always try to treat people with respect because you never know.
Yeah.
So John, I had no idea. We were talking before you got on there. I was talking a little bit about being in New Jersey last week, and your sister said that you guys were born in New Jersey.
Well, yeah, I was born in Paquonic, Paquonic, New Jersey. So been a long time. We lived in upstate New York, but we did grow up in New Jersey. We got a ton of family in New Jersey still to this day.
Yeah, I had no idea, but we had a good time in Jersey. We've been getting into now. Joe, you play a bunch of instruments, right? I mean, it's not you're not just hey, I'm going to play guitar, but you play bass. And what else do you play? Because you're like a one-man show.
Well, I do guitar, I do bass, I do drums, I do vocals, obviously. I've done the harmonica, and I've done the violin as well. I can play keyboard with one hand, but I've not mastered doing two yet. But any instrument given to me, I can probably kind of figure it out and master. But yeah, keyboard I haven't mastered, two hands. And the one instrument or types of instruments I really want to play, but I have not figured it out, is any wind instrument. Like I posted that picture of me on the saxophone, like on a photo shoot, but I wish I could play the damn saxophone, but I can't play any wind instruments. It's like there's a specific blowing technique I don't know you got to do, and I can't figure that out.
Yeah, but can he play the cowbell?
Dude, I can play the cowbell.
We need more cowbell.
Need more cowbell.
So we get back from, I remember we get back from Desert Fiends, and you're like, hey, I want to do a music video. And just everybody that was involved with that music video has something going on. First of all, the wonderful, talented Joe Castro doing the makeup, which I had no idea, I mean, I've heard of Joe, but then finally got to meet him and watch his work. Your director, the people you had acting on it. Throw out some of those names of the folks that were in that music video.
We got Sean Heights. I know him as a director, but he does great acting as well. Ryan James is in there. Toxic Doom, Chris from Toxic Doom, he comes on, makes a cameo in there. David Adventure makes a cameo in there. My wife, Jane, from Jane's Eagle Creation, she makes a cameo in there. My brother, Tony Gonzalez, my mom, Marta Torres. There's a lot of us in there, and everybody did a great job. I felt like, aside from my family, everybody else in there was like a lot of star power. Everybody was like knew what to do, and with your guidance as well. Thank you for that. Everybody really gave you kudos. That you worked really well with everybody. People thought you were going to be the big star, big name, probably not wanting to work with people with no acting experience, but you treated everybody with respect and gave them guidance. So you did a really, really great job.
I don't know about guidance, but everybody, you had a bunch of, so all those people are like Sean Heights. So, his brother and I worked off and on for 20 years. His brother is the force behind the TV show Monster Garage, is the music, right? His brother, Richard Heights, was creating music, just 20 seconds here, songs here, 50 seconds here for a bunch of different TV shows, but he's well known for Monster Garage and doing all that for Discovery Channel and all that stuff. And then Sean, his brother, who has a movie that just keeps winning and winning awards, Cannibal Comedian, which is a great fun movie. We got to get John to see it here. A great movie. And Sean, who's been directing for a little bit, John's directed Bill Moseley, for God's sakes, and a whole bunch of, Sean has Bill Moseley and a whole bunch of other folks. And he's not a stranger to this movie business, but Cannibal Comedian, a big deal. It's winning awards all over the place. Ryan, you talked about. Ryan's also as a producer and whatnot, and as an actor, winning awards for a couple of the things that they've done. It's just that music video. I'm telling you, it's good luck for everybody.
Yeah, you got to join the winning team. When I filmed Area 5150, that's where I met Sean Heights and Ryan James for the first time ever. I've never knew these guys before, and they treated me with respect on set. Ryan James we were talking about Jay and Silent Bob, and he told me how he was really good with Kevin Smith and works with him a lot. So he's the one that also got me into being an associate producer for the movie, the biopic of Kevin Smith called Shooting Clerks. So that's where I started becoming a producer because of Ryan James. So I really owe a lot to those two guys, Sean Heights and Ryan James, for taking me under their wing and teaching me a lot. So after filming Area 5150, I got Sean Heights and Ryan in my music video. You know, we both gained more respect for each other. That Sean Heights would invite me to his premieres for Cannibal Comedians. So I got to see the world premiere of Cannibal Comedians. And anytime he had a screening, I would, you know, they'd invite me and I showed up, to a point where now I became an associate producer for that movie as well, because it's winning awards. It's doing a lot out there. And it's like, why not? You know, why not be a part of that winning team? So it's like any event Sean goes to, he's getting an award. So anytime he's around, I'm like, yeah, we know you're getting one. And that's what I want.
Yeah, but now let's talk about that music video. Very fun music video. Like you said, well directed, fun cast, fun concept. Your mom and you in that makeup that Joe Castro did for 6-7 hours. Listen, I wouldn't be able to do that. And I've done makeup before. I just wouldn't be able to have my not be able to see properly. And what you and your mom wore was crazy. So I mean, kudos to your mom. I know your mom and me are probably the same age. So I can't believe that she did that for 6 or 7 hours. But you didn't make the music video to go out there and hit the convention circuit with it. You just wanted to make a cool music video. But what changed? Because what made you decide to enter a couple of these what are we calling them? Film festivals. Yeah, with the music video.
Well, I mean, I didn't have the intentions to enter any film festival. I didn't even know I could enter a film festival. I thought I had to be like, I don't know, licensed and all these kind of things to it. But because, like I said, I have 3 other videos that I've recorded in the past. I've never ever submitted. I just put them on YouTube and boom, whoever sees it. I advertise it whatever I could. But the turnout of this music video, you know, just watching little clips, you know, Joe Castro was suggesting like, you need to enter this in film festival. We're like, oh wow, like really? You think it's that good? He's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. And then Ryan James was telling me the same thing. Sean Heights told me the same thing. So a lot of the people that I believe in and I know they do great stuff was telling me that I should, you know, submit this to film festival. So I said, you know what, let's just do it. Even my director, Timothy Bennett, was telling me, yeah, this has really potential to, you know, enter film festivals. And sure enough, yeah, I went gung-ho crazy and just like submitted it. Once I figured out how to do it, I was just submitting to like a crap load of festivals.
Yeah, but not only submitting, you were flying all over the place, right? And my light went out on my thing here, so if it looks like my head's floating. But not only were you submitting to film festival, but you were taking the time, getting on a plane, going to Chicago, right? You went to Days of the Dead in Chicago, which is great, where you got to meet Summer Flynn. Oh, and the you know, who me and John both have done her podcast now, who's an MC, you know, interviewer for all the Days of the Dead, and has a great podcast of her own.
I got to meet her actually. The first time I got to meet her, I was attending Days of the Dead in Los Angeles with Sean Heights. He was screening Cannibal Comedian over there, and then I ran into Summer. I was following her already on Instagram because I follow Days of the Dead, and I just decided to follow her, and she had a podcast. So I physically got to meet her there, and I was just telling her about, hey, I'm going to be shooting a music video. I'm here to support Sean Heights and things like that. So that's how we kind of introduced ourselves. And then finally, when I got to go to Chicago for Days of the Dead over there, you know, we ran into each other again. I'm like, hey, so then she finally, you know, seen the video, obviously, and then you know, we just clicked. She's really cool. She's such a great person, a great personality and everything. So I'm glad you got to get an interview with her. She's really cool. Mm-hmm. I'm hoping to probably get on her show pretty soon as well. We kind of talked a little bit, but maybe beginning of the year.
So how many we can talk about it, because not, you know, I mean, I would love to win an award. I've been nominated for a couple things, but I've never won an award before besides, you know, a taco eating contest. So you've done pretty good.
World champion taco eating contest.
You're right. You got to have something right there, Joe, right? Isn't there something in grabbing distance of
everything's behind me. It's like my shrine back here. Yeah.
Grab one of those awards so we can show the folks at home.
Well, this is one of them right here, like a made of glass. This one's for best set design. So, what I'm proud of most about a lot of my stuff is like how I invested in my own project. I, you know, pay for everything, and everything I paid for, you know, paid off in the long run. Like I said, I rented that studio, and I ended up winning best set. So obviously my investment paid off. This one's another one, like a dead hand from the Hollywood Blood Horror Festival. This is best music video. This is pretty cool too.
It's great.
That's gotten like other little musical. These were my first physical trophies where I cried in tears. I'm like, man, like this is beautiful. Like music and music and film together in both worlds. It's pretty cool. I got about 3 of these. One was for best rock music video, best editing, and to be in the top 20 in that festival category. And then let's see, the latest one I've gotten here. This one's for best visual effects right here. But,
yeah, it's just pretty amazing. I remember we were looking at that studio, and I'm like, oh wow, what's up with this studio? Well, I guess this is pretty cool. I mean, they had and I was like, I don't know. I mean, I'd never been to that studio before. I've been to a couple little ones that were refilmed, but man, it just worked, and everybody there, like you said, was a professional that was excited. You saw those guys. I mean, Sean Heights and those guys were so excited. I forget who I killed. Oh, I killed your drummer.
My brother. No, you killed my. Oh yeah, you killed my drummer and my brother. So
yeah, I killed your drummer and your brother.
I forgot to mention them too. Yeah, Matt Garrett was my drummer. He's in the video too, and Stuart.
He's great. He plays with you. I mean, I got to watch it. You guys play. You just played I want to say a couple weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, the LA Punk Film Festival.
The LA Punk Film Festival, which is pretty cool, and I got to watch you guys play, and I really dug the music. And he's such a. I mean, let's see. I think he's my age, right?
Yeah.
I could be wrong. He's a little bit older guy, but you watch him play drums, man. He's just cooking and grooving and having a good time out there.
Tearing it up, yeah.
So, yeah, it's a good deal. Now, so that's not all what we have in common, right? Because you gave me a holler. You're so into this. You're so into this producing now that you love producing. You got involved with a documentary about horror.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that because I got to go. I mean, a lot of the guys that were in your music video, we all came down and did some interviews for you.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I met Frank Porciani on Desert Fiends set. He reached out to me. It was because he seen that I was doing a lot of things horror related. I was also on set and seeing what I can do. And he wanted to, I guess he had started this project called Making Horror, a filmmaker's documentary. They've had interviews already in the past, but then the project was put on hold. And then he knew that I knew a bunch of you guys. He's like, hey, you got some connections and you're really good with people. Like maybe we can interview you guys. I'm like, definitely. If I'm going to get involved, I want to make sure you guys are in there. Like if you guys deserve that spotlight. You guys been in the business for a while. And like, let's say, you don't get all the credit and recognition you guys deserve, but I feel like you guys should be like at this level, So I want to make sure I'm getting your name out as much as I can. Joe Castro, he deserves his name to be out there more than it is. Same thing with Sean Heights. Like I told these guys, like I got to interview Sean Heights. He's on fire right now. Like he's winning all these awards and festivals. And we got to get Joe Castro. We got to get Brett Wagner. Like I've worked with these guys and I've seen what they can do. I've seen you at your cons and conventions, and I've seen how you treat your fans. Like you're really humble, and you appreciate all that interactions with them. So like, you guys need to get your face out there more often in the horror scene. So anything I can do to get you guys involved, I'm going to have you guys. So yeah, I've been interviewing artists, from special effects artists involved with horror movies, making horrors, actors that are in horror movies. I even interviewed my cinematographer Ryan Pennington because I know people don't ever respect the people behind the cameras. Everyone just loves horror movies and they love the actors, but no one really knows what it took to make that.
Yeah, Ryan's a great guy, by the way. A very talented hombre.
Yeah. Those are my go-to guys. I'm like, I have to have them filming and directing at all times. And now, like, meeting all you guys. I kind of want to do, like Adam Sandler, how he has, like, the same cast in almost every movie. So every project I'm personally going to do, I want to get the same cast and the same crew. I will bring in more people as I meet people, those that support me throughout the years. And I start bringing them in for projects. That's how I got David from Adventures with David, the vlogger. He was always, helping my wife at her booth. And, like, let me get a plug for the Demons Within when I first met him. So I'm like, this guy's really good. So let me bring him into my project because, you can see who's there for you and who's there to help you out and who's just there just to get the attention. They're like, oh, this guy's doing something cool with Brett Wagner. I want to get involved so I can hang out with Brett Wagner. I'm like, no, I don't want that.
Yeah, no, you've done a great job. I mean, listen. Sean Heights and these guys and Ryan and all these guys, they're super talented guys and they're hot right now. I mean, Cannibal Comedian, is winning awards. What's the other Clerks?
Shooting Clerks.
Shooting Clerks is doing tremendous. I mean, all this stuff is doing so well, and it's this tight knit of folks. All the actors. I mean, the actors on Cannibal Comedian are amazing. And Sean said, Cannibal Comedian 2. Fingers crossed. He said, "Big Schwag, you're in." So I'm going to hold him to it because I enjoyed that movie so much. I enjoyed the acting. I enjoyed the story and some quirky character actors in that movie that are so good. So,
well, I know Sean's working on something else up his sleeve, musically involved in the movie. So we need to definitely get you on board for that one.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited that it's just crazy how you could go up to Vegas, do a little movie, called Desert Fiends, and all of a sudden come back and you're just, because a guy like you getting me involved with all this stuff. And I mean, some of the actors and some of the other people that were involved in Desert Fiends are now doing a whole bunch of cool stuff, which you and I get to be a part of, which is amazing. So, it's just crazy, but it's good people, right? It's,
it's all great support. It's like, I really, really I do have to give shout outs to 2 specific people. Nicole Vegas, being one of them. Pretty sure she's in the chat there somewhere, but Nicole Vegas, I have so much respect for her. She did a great job on set, taking care of everybody. She didn't take a day off at all, but you can tag her, post anything about anything that doesn't even have to do anything with her, and she will share it for you.
Nicole is the best.
Yeah, exactly. She's there to help you out. You can tell she's not there to just mooch over on you guys. She's there to help you out and watch you grow, and she's happy for you guys. Nicole Vegas, big shout out. Thank you, love her very much. And if I can get her on my next project, I definitely will. And I will be reaching out to her and you, Brett, John. If you're around the area or can fly down whenever I have this project going on,
I can go anywhere. I fly with my own wings, man. I'll get there. No, but I
do have another music video lined up. I just got to lay down the track. I was supposed to record the song in November, but these film festivals blowing up, it took so much of my time that I had to postpone it. So I'm looking to actually record this track sometime next year and then start shooting a music video. But then right now I have so much creative genius flowing that I might turn the music video into a short film. So it'll be a short film with a music video in the middle of it. So definitely, Brett, already got something lined up for you in that. So I'll be reaching out to all you guys and everyone that's been there. John, getting me on this show, helping me support, So I'll reach out to you too if you're interested in getting in on this video. It's gonna be very gruesome, way more bloodier than Sci-Fi Sam's video. So it's gonna be intense.
We had some good kills in Sci-Fi Sam. So now listen, you're doing really well, man. You are like John. You try to help the community out. You try to help the people that you've met out, which is great. And that's what it's about, right? If we can't have fun and we can't enjoy the people that we're working with, there's nothing worse than working with people that you don't like and you're forced to work with them on a movie or do something. But when you do like somebody and you can pull all these really good resources together, from directors, cinematographers, actors, musicians, and put them all together, it's a beautiful thing. And you guys have figured a way to do that. Yeah. And I love watching it, but I'm still on the outside. I gotta get in there, and that probably means going. And I've missed so many. I've got invited to the red carpet premieres for all that stuff, and I've been out of town doing stuff.
You're a busy guy. You got things going on too.
I know, but I apologize. I do want to go to all that. I should be going to all that stuff. I really wanted to go to the punk deal where you guys were playing. But
I'm actually glad that you're doing these kind of things. It's better knowing that you didn't show up because you did that over. I just didn't want to go. I know you're successful and you deserve to be seen out there. I tell everybody, if you can fly out and get your name out there, it's even better. That's why I took the opportunity to go to Chicago. I don't want to stay in my comfort zone. People in Chicago deserve to see Dirty Freaking Joe.
Yeah,
Atlanta, they gotta get to see Dirty Freaking Joe. So it's good to get out there because not everyone gets that chance. People love your movies. Not just for the Lost Leatherface. They've seen the Crazies. They've seen some of them might know you from your Buffy gigs. even Monster Garage. So, they want to go see you, but unfortunately they live further away. So it's good that people like you travel out there to see these people, to give them the chance to see you and, show their appreciation to you. So you're doing great. Don't ever feel bad that you couldn't attend something because you're busy.
All right. Well, speaking of, Summer Flynn.
Make him feel bad, Joe. Make him feel bad. Put that guilt on this man.
Summer Flynn loved me on Hannah Montana, which is weird, but she's young enough to have been watching that thing. So I know you got a job. I know you got a wife. You have a incredible wife to let you go and travel. Oh yeah, excuse me, real quick. Yeah, Bloody Ballet. I forgot. Summer Flynn has a movie I did with Brett Mullen called Bloody Ballet, which was great. You got a great wife, man, because she supports you, helps you. She helped on that music video tremendously.
Yeah,
and supports you, and we got to give some props to her.
Yeah, my wife, Jessica Gonzalez, we just call her Jane. She has her own, she's a little entrepreneur herself. She has her business called Jane Civil Creation. She's actually going to be with you at Creep IE. She's vending at Creep IE Con. So we will be there. We'll have our own little booth and we'll make sure we swing by and say what's up to you guys too. But yeah, Jane Civil Creation, she'll be at Creep IE. Swing by her booth. We'll have a lot of horror, little spooky products that she custom makes. And then I'll be there. If anybody wants to say get a free meet and greet before I start charging.
So close to coming to Creep IE Con, but I'm going to Days of the Dead Chicago this year in March. So between February and March, I had to make my choice. I might fly in for the weekend. My sister's out there. It's just been a little difficult with the schedule at work. It's been one day I'm off here, one day I'm off there. I never know.
Yeah.
I'm working on getting those weekends off, which will make it so I can just hop on a plane and do those things.
Yeah, but you're gonna have a great time at Summer Flynn's gonna be there. CJ Vecchio, you're gonna be able to get to hang out with, and he'll take you to Hooters.
Yeah, a lot of people are going there right now. So it's a little closer to get to Chicago than it is to California for me.
Yeah.
But
John is in Peculiar, Missouri.
I'm in Harrisonville. We did Peculiar. Peculiar's right out there. But yeah, I'm right out in Missouri, south of Kansas City. All the excitement's out here. No.
I like what you do though. You go to those cons and get merchandise autograph. That's what I love to do as well too. Like my wife, if we go to a convention, she loves shopping spooky stuff, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna get in line to go meet this guy. I'm gonna go get in line, get this autograph. So like I got a Kane Hodder to sign one of those machetes. So Creep IE, you better have those hammers because I need to get one of those for you next. But
he never leaves home without them. He never leaves home without.
I never leave home without. But hey, listen, so John was talking to me, and he says, you know what, we need a riff. We need some music for the opening of our show. And I was like, gosh, we got a ton of people. I'm like, hey, let's see if Dirty Freaking Joe could come up with a good riff for us. And you sent a riff about a week and a half ago, and we really dug it. And we're gonna let the folks get a little. This is just you, Joe, coming up with something and riffing.
I just woke up that day.
I dug it. Fred sent it to me, and I was like, man, this is cool, man. It kind of has the DK and the Schwag. You can almost hear it in there. Yeah, I dig it. I dig it I think it's a great intro to a show, Joe. I think Dirty Joe did it again. Dirty Freaking Joe, just doing it with the music, doing it with the acting. Yeah. I love it, man. It's a cool ass riff for sure.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity, man. Like I said, I really appreciate any kind of promo, plug, spotlight. You guys are great. I'm very thankful for everything you guys done. I tried getting on the show, I think like the last month or 2 months ago, but I know Brett, he's been on his busy schedule, and John.
You messaged me, and it was, I think, the weekend before Scarefest.
Yeah.
And it just got so crazy since Scarefest, and still crazy right now. It's just been, it's just been a crazy road, especially now with the holidays. So I'm hoping 2024, get through these holidays and be ready to rock and roll in 2024. It's just been, like I said, a nightmare. We've had so many people, great guests that we got coming up. Brett's been busy. I've been crazy busy, but I'm glad we were finally able to get you on because Brett's a big fan of yours and your music. And when he showed me that riff, it's like, yeah, let's get this rolling. Let's get him on. So thanks for coming on too. And thanks for that riff. I dig it. I think it's cool as hell.
Yeah, I'll get it to you guys professionally done soon. Maybe after this holiday, starting January, I can get back into the studio and all that. But yeah, it's been a crazy ride. 2023 has been a great year for me. It's been stressful, but I tell everybody, like, I'm stressed but blessed. Like, I had a lot of great opportunities, and I met a lot of cool people, done a lot of cool things, and like, how can things get even better? But 2024 is already like booked and lined up with a lot. I got, January, I'm going to be flying out to Atlanta for Days of the Dead. In February, I'll be flying to Cincinnati to go film the Haunted House of Pancakes. And then in May, I'm going to be a roadie guitar tech for the LA Slumlords in Vegas.
Let's talk about those guys real quick. Talk about those guys because I love the shirt and I've been seeing them mentioned quite a bit. And then let's talk about the LA Slumlord.
If you can see the back.
I like that.
If you could see, it's a middle finger.
Yeah.
But yeah, these guys as well. Like, so when I was in the era where I was following Van Stone everywhere, I started following Van Stone when they would headline shows. This band, LA Slumlords, performed with them. They would either open up for them. And so, like, when I seen Van Stone, I seen these guys. I'm like, damn, these guys are good too. That's like real old school punk, like good punk music right there. Female front woman, Patty, she was great. James Cross or James Kreitz, he was a badass bassist. They put on one hell of a show too. So I followed them a lot, when I was growing up, and I would keep going to their shows after their sets. I'd find them walking around. I'd go take a picture with them. So this is me when I'm like a kid. Like, I'm probably barely like 18 or 17 years old. And then, they just reunited again. They got their song on Guitar Hero. I forgot which one, but they're one of the downloadable contents where you can download their songs on Guitar Hero and play that. So they blew up. They were really good. And they just did they just reunited, and they're going to play some shows again. So then they reached out to me and asked if I can be their guitar tech. I'm like, I am so down, dude. So like now, like, it's just like I'm reliving my life now again. Like, I got to hang out with LA Slumlords. I'm hanging out with Van Stone, like Dave Sheridan. I seen him at Days of the Dead as well, so I get to catch up with that guy. So this 2023 was just a blast from the past. It's been such a great time. But yeah, LA Slumlords will be at the Punk Rock Bowling in late May. And that's going to be a really, really great show. And they got Devo performing over there. It's like a lot of old school punk bands. It's going to be good. It's going to be a good show.
Now, that's is that in Ventura, California? Where is it?
No, it's going to be in Las Vegas.
All right. Well, man, and that's in May, man. We might have to, John, you may have to fly out. Let's go watch a little punk rock. Devo.
I'm booking everything now as we speak.
Whip it good.
Yes.
Yeah.
How about I grew up, I'm older than both of you guys, so
everybody knows that,
The 80s, I've been using this soap to try to, you put it in your beard and it does not seem to be dark.
It's like mine. It's getting a very light blonde. Very light.
But, the 80s were so good to me, and Devo was one of those things that I didn't care if people, and now it's very funny. You see a bunch of guys in their 50s and, my age and even a little older that'll go see Devo. And Devo's been playing around a lot, which is great. And what a great band. So do you know any of the other bands on that card, Joe?
No, I don't, honestly. There's lots of bands on there, but I kind of just glance at the headlining ones. I can't remember the rest, but there's a lot of good punk bands in there. So I'm excited for that either way. Like, I was talking to Warren, and he wants me to work in his film that he's gonna be shooting in Canada, Rebel Bikers versus Vampires from Venus.
Yeah.
He wanted to see that late May, and I was like, oh, now I got this gig with the LA Slumlords, the anime. So I'm gonna be flying to Canada early June to be filming that with Warren. Again, I met Warren through Desert Fiends. Again, you never know, who you're gonna connect with, and then you got another movie gig. Like, everyone on set thinks like, oh, I'm just gonna hang out with Shawn Phillips because he's a director, I can get on all his movies. But like, no, you get along with everybody and opportunity opens. Once
you get your foot in the door, the opportunities really open up. I mean, if you have good intentions and people see it, I think it goes a long way. And from what his experience with you and what my experience is from getting to know you as well, it does go a long way for people. So it does have its rewards. It's a matter of just getting in there, going after it, having the talent like you have with the music and acting. And once you get your foot in the door, like you said, knowing Shawn C Phillips or something, or you meet a guy like Brett, who's always, one of the most helpful guys out there. If you like shit, he's going to have your back. He's one of the most loyal friends I know. Yeah. So it's once your foot gets in that door and you get a taste, and you do the right things and you make the right steps like you're doing right now, you never know what can happen. Living proof right there with you.
They start reaching out because they hear about you, and then some people just want you for your money. That's why I'm very careful. I could have been in so many movies right now if I just took every opportunity that came to me, but I don't. First off, the script has to be good. It has to be something that catches on to me. Like Desert Fiends, when Shawn Phillips reached out to me, I didn't know Shawn at that time either. I think he found me through Area 5150 because he cameos in there as well. But he reached out and he sent me his Indiegogo, and I read his storyline. It reminded me of a Gwar show. And I'm like a big Gwar fanatic. It's my favorite band. So I'm like, this sounds like a Gwar movie, So I joined in for that reason, just to be in a bloody concert scene. But then eventually I've seen other perks. I'm like, I think I want to be a mutant, I didn't know Brett was going to be a mutant as well. But, that was a plus, So then I got to work with him even more. But, yeah, I've had other people like, hey, check out my Indiegogo here, check out my Indiegogo. But they only want your money. Like, they don't really, know you or, add on to anything. At least, like, other people, they'll reach out to me. They've seen what I've done. Some people will offer me like, hey, can you jump in my movie? You don't even have to pay anything. I just want you to do a cameo. I'm like, I'm fine with that too. Or they'll reach out to me like, hey, I'll give you some discounted rates. You can tell when people like know what you've done and what you can do and how bad they really want you in their movie or not, And like I said, I'm willing to help anybody, but I got to see that, some kind of passion back that in return, because it's not just, oh, Joe likes to like go to Indiegogos and support movies, so we're gonna sucker him to get in all of our movies. I'm like, nope, that's not how it works.
You can get caught in that trap. I did early on too, where I don't want to say it's a trap, but you want to support everybody, you can't support everybody, and it becomes, what can I do the most for? What project do I say, this is something exciting. I'd like to help any way I can, and mostly not financial. I think just spreading the word to a lot of people, showcasing goes a long way as well, without losing your shirt and investments on some of these projects, because there are a lot, but there are a lot of good ones. You just got to really research the projects you get into. Like Shawn C Phillips, once Brett told me he was in a Shawn movie, I knew about Shawn. You're like, oh man, that's a good guy to be working with right there. And he's worked with CJ Vecchio and some up and coming directors and producers, and I'm excited for a lot of these films coming out soon.
Shawn's got a new movie, Skate to Hell, with Nicole Vegas is going to be producing again, and they're looking at locations. So I'm pretty excited. I got offered a gig on it, and hopefully Joe will get involved if he has the time to get in that again, because I like working with Joe. So that would be awesome. It's like you said, John and Joe, you gotta. We also have regular jobs, right? Most everybody has something. I can't say I have a regular job, but I do work for a lawnmower company, and I got to do voiceovers, and I got to go do stuff for them all the time, and then I got to audition, and I got to try to.
You're a busy guy all the time. Actor. You might not have a job as far as a 9-to-5, but you're working more than 9 to 5. You're always working.
Yeah, so it's you gotta listen. You gotta hustle, and that is exactly right. And look at Joe. I'm not tooting your horn just because I like your mohawk and I like your music. You really have. It is a cool hawk. When I was a kid, side note, we used to put egg whites in our hair to get our mohawks to stand up, but you would also stink like 20 minutes into a gig when you're at a Circle Jerks concert. You go, what's that smell? It's your hair, buddy. But besides that, you've done really good. I'm glad that you're being careful, but you surrounded yourself with some really good people, and it's exciting to see you, win this stuff and win these awards, and to continue to keep moving and grooving. The Dirty Freaking Joe is blowing up. It's well deserved, and we're excited for you. And most of our people that listen to our podcast and watch our podcast are excited to see what happens with you in 2024.
Yeah, a lot going on, man. It's really cool. Just like you just check out my Instagram. I'm more active on Instagram on dirty_Joe87. And I'm here on Facebook as well under Joe Gonzalez. But I post, as soon as I get a movie gig, I'm already advertising as much as I can, like so right now I think the most recent one is Warren Fulton's Rebel Bikers versus Vampires and Venus. So I'm gonna be advertising that. I'm gonna advertise, the Haunted House of Pancakes. That's just that's a creative concept, like food horror. I always told everybody food will be the death of me in real life, and then I become diabetic. I'm like, boom, what did I say? That means gonna kill me. What? Food will kill me, and then there's in that movie where food will kill you. So I'm like, this is the perfect movie, so that's gonna be something really fun to look forward to.
Yeah, I know Warren Dean Fulton. I'm pretty excited for his deal. I mean, we're trying to figure out a way for me to get up there to Vancouver to also, work on that with you guys. And well, it's just there's a lot of good stuff. Yeah, I would listen. As much as I love, I just had a huge audition for a big TV show filming in Atlanta, and I was super excited. And I had to spend a couple days here preparing for it. As much as I love doing that stuff, man, I really like working with, my friends, and I like working with people that are hungry, like John and you and Shawn C Phillips and Nicole Vegas and Warren Dean Fulton, Steve Merlo, and all these guys. They're hungry. They're doing it the right way. And that's what our show's about, right, John? We're just trying to spread the word with the good folks. And
I always say teams win championships. You build, whether you're working with each other all the time, but you're supporting each other and you have those links and connections and respect for each other, you can do a lot of things and accomplish a lot of things. So, yes, 100%. I agree 100%.
All right, so what's in the immediate future? What do we got, Joe? Folks want to get a hold of you, Joe. What do they do? Say they want to say, hey, man, we need some of Joe's music, but you got to pay him a little something. But we want some of Joe's music in our next movie. What do they do?
They can just reach out to me. Reach out to me on Instagram, dirty_Joe87, or here on Facebook, Joe Gonzalez. Just reach out to me and, let me know what you're looking for, what you're into. If it's metal, is it punk? Is it, rock and roll, whatever, just a 20-second riff, a full-length track, whatever you guys need, just let me know. Just give me some time, obviously, yeah. But I'm here for everybody, like I said, just as long as, I don't get that vibe, you're just trying to be a snake or anything like that, taking advantage of me, So, but yeah, reach out if you need an actor, if you need a musician or a musician and an actor. I'm here for all that, I'm always down for support. I'm an entertainer. I don't want to be considered or labeled an influencer as today's celebrities are now influencers. I am not an influencer. I'm a public figure. I'm an entertainer. I love to entertain.
That's a good word. I like to say that as well, right? And then John is too, right? We're not just, you can't just label us as an actor or as a host of a show or a podcaster. We're entertainers because we do a lot and we try to keep doing. Listen, I mean, I'm 56 in a week and a half, right? I turned 56 on New Year's Eve, and I still, I'm an old man, but I still will throw 100 things up on the wall and hopefully something will stick. And you take a shot at everything. You gotta, if you're going to be in this world, doesn't matter what job, you try to do the best you can, but you always throw a couple different things on the wall and you take a chance. If you don't take a chance, as Joe has taken a big leap into a lot of good stuff, and from producing to the music to the acting, and he keeps throwing stuff up against the wall and it's working. And we're proud of you, and I'm very happy to call you a friend. And hopefully, I'll be singing a little backup with you on a song or something in 2024.
Wow, the big Schwag singer now. You're adding singer to it, huh? Musicals. Anybody doing a musical, the big Schwag is looking for a gig. But I was thinking, let's, when we end this, we're going to play the Desert Fiends trailer out. We'll do our ending. And we're going to let everybody watch the Desert Fiends trailer. I'm not sure when that's coming out, but I'm excited for that one.
Waiting for that one,
I'm excited.
One shout out I wanted to give before the show ends is Paul from Mutant City Horror. I just got introduced to him this year, and he's been helping me out, promote a lot. He's has his little podcast too on Spotify and YouTube. But that guy, I'm probably going to get him in my next music video as well because he's been helping me out along this way. So thank you, Paul. Thank you, Nicole, both of you guys. You guys share anything I tag them on, even if it's not even benefiting them. But I appreciate that kind of help and support, and those are the kind of people I want in my projects. But Brett, you're in the family, so you're in the next one already.
All right, sounds good. Just invite me over for after Christmas tamales, just in case. That sounded racist, but just in case, Mom, there's some tamales at the house. Just in case. Is that the wife handing the cat off to you? What's going on?
No, my wife's not. My cat just keeps jumping over here.
Yeah. And if you guys need something to do on Christmas Day, you let me know. We're up in here in Valencia. We'll pull a couple extra chairs out, and I'll kick my dog out. You can bring the cat. But listen, folks, I'm sure I don't know if we're going to be back on before Christmas. So if we are not, I want to make sure everybody knows. Happy holidays. Be safe. Enjoy it. 2024 is going to be a big year. We hope for everybody. And it's just good to wrap with you guys both. And John, we've had a pretty good year, man. We've interviewed a lot of really cool folks. We've done some good shows. Got them, introduced a lot of people to some really talented folks out there that they may have never heard of.
Right. It's been an amazing 2023. It really has. We've done a lot of fun things between the events and conventions we've done, the show. And I thank all you guys out there. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year. If we don't see you before then, I think I'll try to shoot in a show before the New Year, but I don't think we'll get one in before Christmas. So Merry Christmas to everybody who celebrates it. Happy New Year. 2024 is going to be a big year, I think, for everybody. There's a lot of good things going on. And yes, I saw that Summer would be down for your musical, especially since she's a dancer. She could be doing cartwheels and ballet moves and Brett Wagner's musical.
I can sing a little punk and a little
anticipation.
That's about it.
That's how I announced this musical in the chat. People want to see it.
I don't listen. I just want to get up to Vancouver and work with Warren Dean Fulton and some other folks, and then and work with Joe again. And let's keep the dancing. Let's keep the dancing and singing off of the resume right now.
You don't sing that for 2025.
Yes.
No, but let's sing 2024. That's for sure. You're gonna get on my track. I'm recording that.
All right, I will. I would love to sing, but look, folks, we appreciate you, Joe. Appreciate you.
Thank you, everybody.
Tell Mom Merry Christmas for me, and give your wife a big kiss for me. Oh well, give her a hug for me, and we'll see you soon, John. I'll holler at you, John. Be looking for that gift. It should be there. That Christmas
I'm going to be looking for. I'm off the next 2 days. I've been looking for new places, the right place to set up the new crypt. But I'm back at work Friday. That's where I had you send it. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you got me. I want to thank everybody again. I want to thank Joe. We're going to give you the final word, Joe, and then I'm going to play this trailer for Desert Fiends, and we'll take off. So, Merry Christmas, guys.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Take us out, Joe.
Just thank you guys. Thank everybody for being on the chat. Engaging. Thank you all for supporting me. Like I said, I don't do this for money. All I ask for in return is to share, like, comment, get that recognition. Don't give up on your dreams. Think they're possible. I'm a one-man band doing it, so you guys can do it too. I really appreciate you guys having me on this podcast show. Thank you guys for having me, and I'm looking forward to working with everybody 2024. So stay tuned for 2024. A lot of good things are happening.
All right, peace out, guys. Check out the Desert Fiends trailer coming up right now.
If I was such a big fucking loser, how would I have managed to score 6 of the hottest tickets in town? This is a very exclusive, very lit music festival that takes place out in the middle of the Nevada desert.
Wonderful. I heard about the festival through the grapevine. I know a shortcut. You turn right over there in the dirt road. You'll save 40 minutes.
What a bunch of idiots.
Yes, they are.
Breaker, 6ix9ine. It's Papa Bear. Good news. There's a rock and roll concert near base camp. Even better news. We're gonna eat for a fucking long time.
To be free and flexible and creative was
He hasn't stopped it yet. Well, oh, maybe I got it.
We just leave now, or?
Yeah, we can leave. All right, folks. I'm ending the chat. Here we go. See you, Joe.
Take it easy.